the future and beheld only oblivion. Yet one spark of hope remains. You will hold her life in your hands. And though justice demands that she die for her crimes, only she can save us.
Second, you're talking about Kerrigan. It's been 4 years. You show up out of nowhere.
Time is short. You must understand. The answers you seek lie within. Study it well. The fate of creation hangs in the balance.
Nice to see you too. I've heard of these Ehon crystals before. Supposedly they allow you to relive another person's memories. If Zeratul's uncovered, it was desperate for me to see it too. Well, here goes nothing.
Hey guys, it's August and welcome back to StarCraft 2, and holy shit, we have a lot to talk about. So, before I get this video underway, I want to talk a little bit about who Zeratul is and also what this crystal is. Because Zeratul is someone who is incredibly important to the StarCraft lore, so if you're new to the series it'll be good to know, and this crystal is also going to come up quite a bit in the next couple of episodes. So if you guys want to skip the part about Zeratul and go straight to the crystal, then go to this time here, or click the box. And if you want to skip both and go right to the video, then click this box over here. So let's get talking about Zeratul. So this is mostly going to be a recap of his role during StarCraft 1, and it should give you guys a pretty good idea of who Zeratul is. So Zeratul is a Protoss warrior that comes from a group called the Dark Templar. The Dark Templar were Protoss who, a long time ago, were banished from the Protoss homeworld of Aya, basically because they shared different spiritual beliefs from the rest of them, and so they were seen as heretics, they were exiled off the planet, and they became nomads of sorts that eventually formed their own planet called Shakuras. So during the events of StarCraft 1, the Zerg invaded the Protoss homeworld, basically tore it to shreds, and it was looking pretty grim for the Protoss. When they finally got a leg up, I guess, and were able to slay one of the Zerg commanders, he simply reformed, because the Zerg have this hive mind sort of process, and so even though the guy died, his essence was everywhere else, and he was able to come back together. And that pretty much did a huge hit of morale to the Protoss warriors. Then at some point, and I forget exactly how they find this out, but they find out that the Dark Templar are actually able to permanently kill these Zerg commanders. I think it's something to do with the weapons they have can like destroy their essence or something. But whatever the case, one of the Protoss warriors, who is also incredibly important, called Tassadar, he went searching for the Dark Templar to bring them back home to kill the Zerg. He eventually found them, and he ran into Zeratul. He, begged him to return home to help his people, and even though Zeratul was pretty sore about it, he decided to come back and help out anyway, because he is a very honourable person. So those two, as well as our good friend James Raynor here, actually worked together to defeat the Zerg. I believe Tassadar helped Raynor at some point, and so to show his thanks and also to, kind of get revenge for what the Zerg did to Kerrigan, they all worked together and managed to defeat the Zerg Overmind, which is their big leader. Unfortunately, in the final assault, Tassadar had to sacrifice himself to kill the Overmind, but they got rid of the Zerg, and everything was well, for a little bit. Unfortunately, due to all the Zerg that were still on Aya, they decided to rampage after the Overmind died and basically tore the planet to shreds. In the end, Zeratul, Raynor here, and a bunch of other Protoss warriors, they worked together to evacuate everyone, and that's basically where the events of Brood War start, which is the expansion. I won't talk too much about those because I honestly don't really remember most of them. But over the course of the game, it basically involves the story of how, with the Overmind dead, a lot of the Zerg commanders try and wrestle control for the Zerg because their hive mind aspect has been kind of, disrupted, so they're going to use the opportunity to get power. And the one that eventually wins is, of course, Kerrigan, and she basically goes around manipulating, backstabbing, and just tricking the other main characters in order to get what she wants. Like, oh Jim, I'm back to myself now, we have to stop the Zerg, wait, I'm lying, I'm actually evil! And it's pretty awesome, actually. But anyway, so over the course of StarCraft 1 and Brood War, Zeratul is someone who's worked with Raynor a couple of times. He's an extremely honorable, he's extremely well-traveled, and just, a smart individual. He respects Jim Raynor deeply because of what they've done together in the past. And so if Zeratul shows up and says, "Yo Raynor, we've got problems," then you better believe that we have problems. And that's where this kind of kicks off here. So Zeratul has given us this crystal here. What the crystal does is allows us to view the memories of Zeratul over the past couple of months as he uncovers this mysterious mystery sort of thing. Simply put, that allows us to go through 4 Protoss-specific missions. These missions, I would say, are reasonably challenging, but the big sort of trouble from them can simply come down to the fact that you are playing as the Protoss, and since if you're new at this game you've only had experience with Terrans, going into that can be kind of tricky. That being said, I would highly recommend you do those missions as soon as you can. There are 2 reasons for this. Number 1, you just learn more of the lore, which is cool. And number 2, each of these missions gives you an insane amount of Zerg and Protoss research points. And by the end of this, I think you have about 10 of each. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about the wee cut there. But yeah, you get so many research points from these missions that I would highly recommend doing them as quickly as you can, because they never change in difficulty and doing them will make your Terran missions so much easier. Now that being said, because I am trying to spread out the mission story arcs a bit, I'll be doing one today and then maybe one every 2 missions or so. It just kind of depends how the other missions turn out, but that's going to be my goal, so we'll have this all done in about maybe 7 or 8 missions. So yeah, with all that said and done, let's finally walk around the ship and see what's going on. So how you doing, Hanson?
I see we have a new acquisition. Is it a Protoss device?
That's right. But I wouldn't mess with it if I were you. It's a Kaydaran Ehon crystal. It's a memory storage device. Lets you experience what other people have seen or done. It can be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing.
Yet you don't fear it at all. You're a fascinating man, Jim Raynor. You know more about the Protoss and the Zerg than any of the experts I've read about.
Yeah, he has a lot of experience.
Holding these artifacts is making me nervous. Can you tell me any more about them?
It's interesting. The one from Zil is different than the others. However, I think all of them once constituted a single device.
You mean they make something bigger?
It would seem so. It's just a theory, but there's an attraction between the artifacts we've collected, a kind of harmonic resonance. Given the points of contiguous translinear alignment, I think they'd be drawn together like magnets under the right field adjustment.
Okay. Well, don't adjust anything just yet, Doc. I like them aligned just the way they are.
How you doing, Stepman?
Sir, you should check out the research console. There's some exciting developments there.
Ooh, thank you. And yes, we have the 2nd tier of Protoss research, so we now have this, if you guys want to read it. And let's look at what we have. Alright, I'm back again. Sorry for all the weird cuts. I'm recording this right in the middle of the day, which is something I don't usually do, so my family's walking around the house. Anyway, so we have the 2nd tier of Protoss research here, where we can get orbital depots, supply depots can build instantaneously, or microfiltering refineries and automated refineries produce Vespene gas 25% faster. Now between these two, this one seems like the pretty obvious pick for the better one. Getting Vespene gas quicker means that you can get upgrades faster, you can get the higher tier units faster, and that's pretty damn good. However, this one isn't too bad either. If you're new at the game and having trouble doing supply, then you should get this because you can just throw down supply depots like that and be perfectly fine for a long time. It's also good in a weird sort of way because if you do this, you won't have to have an SCV constantly building supply depots, so they can be mining or repairing or getting Vespene gas or, whatever like that. So that can be pretty cool too. I suppose it's also good if you're somebody who just likes throwing down supply depots and then you don't have to worry about it ever again. And on the flip side, with this one here, you're still going to get the same amount of Vespene gas in the end because Vespene guys have a limited amount. Like, if you're happy waiting an extra 3 or 4 minutes, and you'll have that amount anyway, so it's not too big of an issue. But that being said, I would still recommend this one because just having that extra boost early on can be really, really helpful. And that is what I'll be going with today. So, next, let's head down to the cantina. And let's talk to Tychus.
So now we've got 3 of these artifacts on my ship. When are we supposed to hand these damn things over?
They got their hands full right now. The Zerg are about to invade Tirador, where Mobius' main research center is. I don't reckon we'll hear anything from them until they relocate somewhere safe.
Wonderful.
That is wonderful. How about you, Tosh?
Had any visitors lately?
I don't know what you're talking about, Tosh.
Oh, I think you do, James Raynor. Something was on this ship just now. I still smell it on you. Protoss. Interesting.
Whatever you think you know, you just keep it to yourself. I hear you yapping about this, and I'll toss you out the airlock.
Whoa, you're kind of sensitive there, Raynor. Alright, let's check out the news.
This is Donnie Vermillion, live from UNN. Tonight, the Zerg invasion. The battle so far. The Terran Dominion is holding firm under Zerg aggression. Our industrial complex has stepped up production on all fronts. Enlistment rates have risen within the penal system, and the Marine Corps is ready to get in the fight. The Zerg won't know what hit them.
Donnie, has there been any word on when we start pushing the aliens back?
Kate, if I revealed that, I'd be giving away vital Dominion secrets.
You think the Zerg watch our broadcast?
I know they do, Kate. I know they do.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. This is Kate Lockwell for UNN.
Yes, those Zerg are a crafty bunch. And since we have our siege tanks, we now have access to the next tier of mercenaries here, which are the siege breakers. These guys are great. That is all. And there they are too. If you want to get some more info on the siege tanks, there you go. And yeah, siege tanks are so badass. I said this last time, but they are definitely one of the most iconic StarCraft units.
We're rocking some serious heavy metal now that we got siege tanks.
Yes, sir. The comforting thunder of the big guns. Well, comforting when they're on our side.
Yeah, these newer tanks have better guns when they're on the move. And reinforced armor.
So long as they still got the range in siege mode, the rest is just gravy. Between siege tanks and bunkers, we can hold the line against just about anything.
And that's true too, those are a deadly combination. Alright, so just like the Siege Breaker, both the Siege Tank upgrades are really good. The first one means that they deal an extra 40 plus damage to primary targets, which, yeah, is great. That means that they can destroy things so much quicker, especially big targets like that. And their other one, they do 75% less damage to friendly units. This is pretty good too. I wouldn't say it's... Actually, no, I'm going to change my mind. I would say it's really useful. Because the thing is, like, you're not often going to run your army into the enemy to attack them, but the enemy will come to you. Like, there are a lot of times when Zealots and Zerglings will rush right into your army, and you can get a lot of damage just from your own siege tanks damaging you. So doing 75% less damage to your units is really good, especially if you have medics there to help out, and like SCVs to repair stuff too, so yeah, that is really, really good. Unfortunately, both of these are really expensive, but I am going to hold off on buying anything because I do want to get these as soon as I can. Alright, up to the bridge then. How you doing, Horner?
You ain't gonna believe this, but I just saw Zeratul on the ship.
How much did you have to drink tonight, sir?
He was here, Matt. And he was hurt. On the run from something.
Where is he now, sir?
I don't know. But he ain't on the ship anymore. He gave me an Ehon memory crystal, and he was desperate for me to study it. I guess he wants me to see what he's seen.
And let's go do that. I think we're done on the ship, so let's have a look at this crystal.
Raynor, the hounds of the void are closing in. I impart my memory, my very essence, into this Ehon crystal, so that you will see what I have seen, and that the future may yet have hope.
Zeratul. What the hell have you gotten yourself into?
Friend Raynor, long has it been since we stood together against the Swarm. Since then, I have wandered the void in solitude, seeking an ancient prophecy, rumored to foretell the return of the Xel'Naga. My sojourn led me to a remote world known as Ulan, where I discovered fragments of the prophecy. Yet I was not the first to find them. It falls to you now, old friend, to relive my memories and believe. The Zerg swarm came, as was foretold. And the Protoss, firstborn of the gods, rose to fight them. Now, the Xel'Naga that forged us all are returning. What do they come to save? Or to destroy?
I knew you'd find your way here. Eventually.
Your very presence defiles this place, Kerrigan.
Do you hear them, Zeratul? Whispering from the stars. The galaxy will burn with their coming.
Perhaps. But you won't live to see it.
Please. Our petty conflicts mean nothing now. The storm is coming that cannot be stopped. Fitting that we should face oblivion together.
Never!
Fate cannot be changed. The end comes. And when it finds me, I shall embrace it at last.
The prophecy is uncertain. There is always hope.
Alright, so here we are in Whispers of Doom, and we're playing as Zeratul. And this mission's all about Zeratul escaping from the Zerg and trying to learn more about this prophecy. Zeratul is an extremely overpowered character.
The prophecy was divided into fragments, each kept at separate shrines. I must gather them and depart this world quickly. This chasm is vast. It is fortunate that I can phase through the shadows to the other side.
So yeah, Zeratul has an astounding 100 damage and 125 against armored targets. He is incredibly powerful. Along with this, he has 300 health, 100 shields. He can also blink, as, you know, a mechanic that you see in a lot of games like this. And he's permanently invisible. Now, high damage and being invisible is a mechanic that a lot of Dark Templars have. And Zeratul is the biggest and baddest of them all. Let's get through this. This mission's pretty easy. There are some secrets you have to look out for, and I'll kind of show you guys where those can be found. They are quite sneaky and... Ooh.
Spore crawlers can detect my presence. I should stun them with my void prison.
And as you can kind of expect, you have to use your blink mechanic to get there. If you guys ever played, little side thing here. But if you guys ever played the temple level in Warcraft the Frozen Throne as the Warden, I want to say it's like mission 3 of the Night Elves. Like that mission is tons of secrets you can find by blinking around, and this is kind of reminiscent of that. Anyway, because Zeratul is invisible, he can only be detected by detectors, and the Spore Crawler here is one of them. But he does have this ability called Void Prison, which allows him to stun it, and the detection vision will no longer work. So we can use it to clear that out, and let's get rid of this too. Any secrets down here? Doesn't really look like it. Usually if you go past a part of the map and the map's still black, then that's a pretty good place to look. Okay, we have to get rid of that guy before he can dig underground. Because that Ultralisk there would kind of wreck us. But he can no longer do that. And, oh shit. I shouldn't have said that.
Detect me from across the chasm. It must be destroyed.
Yeah, these guys can run away when they get attacked. Let's do that. Let's jump over and take this out. I suppose there's no real reason to take this out, but I'll just do it anyway. Let's get rid of that guy too.
That Overseer can see through my cloak. I'd best stun it with my Void Prison before crossing this chasm.
So yeah, Void Prison and Blink are two pretty huge parts of this mission. So let's get that guy, and we'll have to run away from him because he's flying, we can't attack him. And here is the first shrine.
The first fragment of the prophecy. Soon all will be made clear.
Why not surrender yourself to oblivion, Zeratul? Wouldn't it be better to end your struggle now than witness the final, agonizing moments of your species?
Oh.
So much for Kerrigan's reprieve.
Oh shit. Oh no, the Mutalisks are coming. Hey! Reinforcements! Let's go, Stalkers. So yes, we now have some Stalkers in our team, and if you guys don't remember me talking about these guys, these are very long-ranged, kind of like basic military units for the Protoss, I guess is the best way to put it. And they can also blink, because just like Zeratul, these guys are Dark Templar.
Your presence is most welcome. Let us keep moving.
So I'm going to put some control groups here, like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to freeze this guy when he comes over. We can move our Stalkers over, take him out, and then these Hydralisks won't be able to see us, because that Overlord was providing high ground for them. Ooh, okay, let me get back for a little bit. Let's get Zeratul. In missions like this, you just want to abuse your characters as much as you can. You do have very limited units, so just do this. It's perfectly acceptable, I think.
In the service of ire.
Alright, blink, freeze you, and attack. Also, even though we are taking like a lot of damage here because of the Protoss shields, those are enough to keep us alive. And by the time we get into combat next, our shields would have regened, which is a pretty big part of the Protoss. You need to know how to do hit and run tactics to keep you guys alive. That guy's taking a little bit of damage, but he should be back up before the next fight. Unfortunately, my mouse is kind of going all over the place here. Oh, Broodlords.
Must be dealt with cautiously, or we will be torn asunder.
Yes, we do not want to mess with those guys. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out my like setup here, so my mouse is kind of going all over the place. This time I'm actually going to freeze him and get our stalkers up here to take this guy out as soon as we can. Alright, there we go. Because yeah, Broodlords do a ton of damage and they drop units that will attack us. And then we'll do it again for this one. I'm just going to play this a little bit safe and wait for him to come back. Let's get you guys over. There's no real reason to get the Overseer this time. Because there's no other units around we have to worry about. Alright, let's go Stalkers! I should point that out too, because I think I've been mixing up the names. The Overseer is actually an evolution of the Overlord, and the Overseer can detect units while the Overlord can't. In the original StarCraft, the Overlord could do it, and there wasn't even the Overseer, so it's a new thing for this game. Okay. Oh, what's going on?
Prepare for an aerial attack. Brace yourselves, my brethren.
Alright, where are they? Oh, there's an Overlord there. Let's take him out. Oh shit. He's dropping units on us. Let's go Zeratul. Alright, we don't have to worry about these little guys flying around because they can't do anything to us. Oh, we lost 2 of our Stalkers. Oh, that's not good. But hey, we got more reinforcements, cool. Thank you, game.
The Queen of Blades built hatcheries here. She seeks to subvert this sacred world. I shall put an end.
So just like before, we want to take out the Overseers so the Zerg can't see the high ground. We should be able to hit that guy? Yeah, barely. But the worst things here are these spine crawlers, so taking them out will make this a lot easier. And we should be safe to take out this one right now. There we go. And let's run over here and then take out this guy. And then we can clear out the hatchery. Now this is one hatchery and there are 2 other secret ones around the map. And those are the ones we have to find. Unfortunately, I kind of forget what one of them is. I didn't see any secrets up here. If worst comes to worst, I will just reload and then go find it. There is one over here, I know that for a fact. But I forget where the second one is. Oh, let's just run away, I think. Those guys will eventually despawn if I remember right. There you go. And here's the second piece of the prophecy.
The second fragment of the prophecy. My task is nearly complete.
And the third one is all the way over there.
Your hope is an illusion, old fool.
If you can so easily read my mind, Kerrigan, you'll see that I'll never give up, so long as hope remains.
Yeah, Kerrigan is such a troll. Come on, you Mutalisks. Follow Uncle Zeratul. No? Okay. In that case, I'm going to freeze you, and then blink over here and take out these guys.
One at a time, or risk being overwhelmed.
Yep, as I mentioned, Zeratul's abilities in this mission are so good, so there's really no reason not to take this slowly. Especially because, once again, the Protoss shields are all about taking things slowly. Alright, those guys are gone. I better take this guy out just because we will be passing up an area up here, so he might cause problems there too. Alright, so that guy's down. And we still have to find that second hatchery. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere. Oh no, Banelings. Oh, that's not good.
Stalkers, take them out from a distance.
This is actually a pretty cool part of the mission, I think, because these Banelings will come over and try and attack us. And so what we have to do is play a little bit of Ring Around the Rosie here with these Banelings. So as they come down, we have to jump over here, and then we can kite them back and take them out. Ah! Okay, some of them blew up. That's not too bad, though. Oh my god, this looks suspicious, everyone. I think we might have found one of the hatcheries. Oh yeah.
This hatchery must be destroyed if I am to keep the Queen of Blades from subverting this land.
So if I remember right, I think there are actually some units underground here that are hiding. So I'm just gonna, like, jump out with Zeratul if I need to. Oh, or not. I guess it's safe then. Wasn't expecting that. Oh, there's one. I knew there was something around here somewhere. Okay, you guys can just book it. Zeratul can take this guy in easy. Just stun him. Alright, let's take out this hatchery and then run away. So yeah, doing this will get you a Zerg research point from each of these. Jump over here. And we are done. And the final one I think is like up here somewhere. Oh, wait a second. Oh no, that might have actually been the one I remembered. Oh shit. I hate this feeling like as an LP, it's like I want to shoot these things off, but I don't remember where they are. I might like do a safety save in a little bit, just to be safe. Oh, spine crawlers. Better kill them before they... Yeah. Exactly. These guys can only take root in the creep though. So it'll take them a while to get over there. That one was almost ready. Alright, we did it. Cool.
High Templar Karas is nearby.
Okay, I remember where the final one is now. We're fine, we're fine. But just to be safe, I'm going to make a save here. This is the saving. Oh, that was quick. Oh, don't you love saving in modern games? It's so quick. It's like I remember playing Pokemon Y for the first time and going like, holy shit, the saving in this game is so fast.
Antaro Tassadar, Prelate Zeratul. I am High Templar Karas. My force tracked the Queen of Blades to this world, yet we know not what she seeks.
Kerrigan and I were both drawn here to uncover an ancient prophecy. With your aid, I pray we can discover it before her.
It is an honor, Great One. Lead on.
Thanks for the backup, Karas. Let's do it! Okay, freeze that guy. These zealots will absolutely rip through these guys, but we do have to take out the big targets, or they will have trouble against those. Let's just make my stalkers blink that way. Oh, look at this army here. Go everyone! Take them all out! Yeah, this guy can't do it, so it's up to us. Let's blink over here and take out this guy. We can freeze him too. Alright, nice. So I think that's all that we need to do. Or they do have Nidus Swarm here. Let's take that out. Alright, cool. And I will leave that to Karas, because he can easily handle it. I better take this guy out just to be safe. And now I'm going to blink over here, because this is where the final thing is. Unfortunately, Zeratul didn't make it. Zeratul is also having trouble blinking across this gap. There we go. Okay, so the last one is all the way down here. God, blinking with like a bunch of units can be kind of tricky. I should mention though that I absolutely adore Stalkers. Like, they're such a great unit. When I play like multiplayer StarCraft, I usually just spam Stalkers. Alright, let's run in there and take that thing out. We can just like freeze it. Don't even have to do that. And yeah, here is the final hatchery. So we take this out and then we'll be done with all the Zerg research for this mission. Alright, there we go, cool.
It is done. All of Kerrigan's
Run away, everyone!
Are destroyed. There is
Over there.
yet hope for this world.
Well, I don't really think taking out 3 hatcheries is gonna like inspire a lot of hope in this world. And yes, here is the final piece of the prophecy.
The final piece of the prophecy. It speaks of one who shall break the cycle of the gods.
Most ominous. But if the Queen of Blades seeks this prophecy, we must keep it from her.
The rest is obscured. What?
You might peel away the prophecy's layers, Zeratul, but you cannot outrun the doom that awaits us all.
We cannot prevail against so many.
I will
will stand against the Queen of Blades while you escape with the fragments.
I will not abandon you.
The prophecy is more important than either of us. Reveal its secrets, Zeratul. The future rests on it.
Your sacrifice will not be forgotten, brother.
Goodbye, Karas. He was such a noble character.
Voidseeker, before the Zerg overwhelm me and the prophecy is lost.
Yeah, so this is like a escape pod here. It's pretty easy. They throw a lot of stuff at you, but the only thing you only have to do here is get away with Zeratul. So even if all your stalkers die, it's absolutely fine. Just make sure to blink all the time, because that will give you a lot of room in front of the Zerg here.
Now, I shall become one with the Khala.
Goodbye, Karas. I will always remember you.
I must get to the Voidseeker and preserve the prophecy. I will not let my brother's
And we made it.
Be in vain. I cannot decipher the fragments on my own, yet I know who might interpret them. The preservers of Zakuul. If they cannot, I fear this entire universe will burn.
And with that, we have finished Whispers of Dune, everyone. Dune? Doom! Here are the achievements, here is the mission summary, and on to the next one.